And on three, two, one, yo, yo, yo. We're going to go, go, go. Hi, everybody. This is Beauty Bubble. We're moving into some kind of late night graphic changes, some visual changes, some end slate work. And so I'm just going to be on for a little bit to see what this looks like once we take it over to archive. See how much white space there really is. How does it really look up against the night vibe? If you have the gaming vibe, then this will look quite a bit different to you. And I'm going to open up the, let's make sure that you guys can still see that, okay? Open up the YouTube feed, see where we're at. So we're being inspired, to understand what it is to have a call to action, or a CTA, and taking a look at how other YouTubers that do have larger audiences and how they're kind of crunching things down, right? They're going after subscribers, the notification, they're offering other places where you can consume their content. They're suggesting that you buy merchandise from their video. So as the smaller YouTuber is kind of losing these attributes, these features that are actually built in for the YouTuber that has more, a certain amount of number of viewers, there's certain attributes that you get on your finished product. And so the smaller channels miss out on that. So we have to kind of create that on our own. And it can be difficult because, not all of us, the thing about YouTube is that the way it kind of puts things together, there are graphic, user interface people, the UI people that know and work with graphic artists and designers and sizings and the frame and all of that, and when you're when you have a bigger channel, and these attributes start to kind of, they get working for you, right? Your channel starts to look really great in comparison to, let's say, the smaller YouTuber that, whether they don't have the time or the ability or focus, or you lose out on all this. So over the last month or so, I've been more cognizant that without these attributes, we're really, we're really going to have a very difficult time. So tonight, what we're just looking at here, these will end up being end slates, or maybe even welcome slates. I'm not really too sure. I think I have to put together like 3 or 4 of these sorts of things so that we can divide up the time that I'm with you live, how we have the opening slate. And of course, this is all not using OBS, by the way. This is just using the traditional Hangouts. What kind of an opening slate do we have? How do I infuse my value and then suggest that you subscribe? And then in that mid-tone, what can I do to make you be more part of my outreach and my work? And so, sharing the other places that you can find me, and connecting those dots, and then of course at the big thing at the end is, how in the world am I going to be able to keep all of us together, right? In my field, traders will know each other for a lifetime. And of course, in Bitcoin, there are traders that I've known now for 5 years. And these are relationships that they're difficult to let go of. Sometimes, of course, you migrate away, or a trader will just, they won't be trading anymore, or they will find themselves faced with retirement possibilities. And so you're not spending as much time with them. And, you will lose yourself if you don't know how to reconnect or how to connect. So there's all those things. all of those things are going on, and
You will lose yourself.
Part of my concerns are that I have not over 8 years really sort of figured it all out because I just haven't put the time in to do it. I've listened certainly to hundreds of hours of social marketers, social media professionals, and all the things that they have had to struggle with. So some of it is rubbing off. And now I want to start taking action, especially before I celebrate the 8th year. So here we are. As always, I will go ahead and welcome the chat and let you know that the chat is archived. And I strip away the chat and then I put it as a full message over at G+. And that's something that I should have probably put on the subscribe slate. So that's what this is. You will be reminded about maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes in that to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and that there's also other places on the internet where you can find my work, and making sure that you know that I've got videos, of course, that are in playlists, and that there are other writings that I have, and my charts are elsewhere, and the videos are elsewhere, et cetera, like that. So just want to make sure see what it looks like. If the subscribe button is where it belongs, and if it isn't where it belongs, I can move it around. Of course, right straight away, like it's like way too bright in your face, especially against the night light on YouTube. And then along the bottom, I think what I'll do is I'll put the basket of hashtags, because I think that could be really helpful to know. Some of these hashtags are really performing very well over at Twitter. And I've got, I don't know, maybe 15 of them now. And when they're all put together as one, they're powerful. One tweet of mine can, within an hour, get more than 1,500 impressions. Now, I know that that's not the full spectrum of Twitter. It doesn't speak of, return on investment or all the other metric that Twitter has. It says you're successful, but I think that it's pretty shocking that if you did know all of that other stuff, if you had all of that stuff figured out, that the hashtags might actually provide some value. We've also moved the hashtags into the description area instead of the keyword area of the YouTube. I have not been using the keyword part of building up the events for a while now. I'm only putting them in the description, and then of course trying to use the title. In this particular one, this live crypto charts and chat with Beauty, this is to get us back over to the whole notion of Chart Chat Connect, in which the panel seats are open, and so that we can see if any of that can be resurrected, and you would like to come back and spend time with me on the panel as price moves. As a matter of fact, price is now at $11,505. I said that I would come back on YouTube if we hit 11.6, and even if I was to stay for the full hour, I'm not too sure that we will get there, but $100 off now, so it was just as well that I kind of jump in. Other than that, I think what will happen is that once this goes over to archive, I'll go ahead and keep the slate and really take a good look at how much room do we really have, and can I go through all the proper steps that I need to go through with that tone of marketing the channel, okay, marketing the outreach, and making sure that I'm doing a proper job with that. So we are doing okay on YouTube, and the trade, as I said, is at $11,521. So I don't know, we're inside the channel once again, and I'm pretty happy about that. I can do a quick snapshot and send it over to Twitter, but let me go ahead and do the share I could just say that I did share, but I should probably share. And where is, okay, so that's the Hangout, guys. Make sure that I know what I'm doing here. Okay, there's the Hangout. So let me drop that down. Okay, so drop that down and keep the watch live window open here. Grab the, over at our Twitter. And what do we want to say about the event tonight? I will go ahead and take the name the way that it is. See what that looks like over at Twitter. And see here. And we will grab the hashtags from, this is the cool thing about using the watch page instead of, oh, we can take crypto out. We can go ahead and take the CME out on this one. You can take the P bubble part out. And that does okay with the YouTube video. Let's see what happens. Testing in there. Let's see what happens. We're back to liquidating longs again. I just got the notice of that. Oh, I see. So over at YouTube, what the live does is that it gives me two of the red circles. That is pretty interesting. And then because it's the white on white on YouTube and the white on Twitter, it's fairly washed out. So clearly having the charts up there for the majority, or at least what I think it changes, doesn't it, over time? On Twitter, it will. I don't know what the loop is. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe every 20 minutes, whatever it is that we're showing on the all right. Yeah, I think it's like every 20 minutes or something like that, it'll change. If you've ever noticed that on Twitter, if you're in a live event, it will clip, like has, I don't know what it's called. It's grabbing whatever is live on the screen. So it's a little white on white, not crazy about that. I did try different backgrounds. I don't like the black with the white lettering necessarily so much. And then I tried some gray. I tried the yellow and the big gold, like the Bitcoin moving. And I could actually take all of those colors and just sort of, put them on there, except for that. Now we have the Instagram colors, which have the purple and that hot yellow. So even I believe the blue that I'm using in the Bitcoin moving, I believe I can change the blue of the Twitter and still be compliant with Twitter. So we'll have to see, because the Bitcoin moving logo, even both of them, the one that has the smaller font, even the one with the turkey on the front, is very fun, and it's pretty powerful. It looks really great against all the other thumbnails, especially the ones that have become really busy, right? I mean, the world of the thumbnail is pretty insane. So I think it has served its purpose pretty well, the Bitcoin Moving series. So we might want to think about that. If the Bitcoin Moving was a series and then this ended up being the end slate, it's not as, doesn't have the same impact. So we do need to think about that. I could change the color of the font maybe so it'd be subscribe in the goldenrod, the almost would be in the aqua, and then the daily videos could be in the red. That's something that I could do to unite everything together. And then of course I could unite it with the font. And I did not go back over there to make sure what that font was. So that's something that I could do that would make sense. Let me get also the link over to, oh, thank you. Thank you to Crypto Loop. I appreciate that. If you're out there and you can hear me. Okay. So yeah, that would be the right thing to do, is to go back to the original slate and then have that colorway figured out. Because it is pretty jarring, isn't it? I think. Especially if you have the YouTube on that night mode. It's very jarring. I think maybe over on the white on white it might be kind of sort of interesting, but it's missing something. It has all of the attributes. The subscribe, the two reminders. Usually those would be live reminders, by the way, if we could use cards on the smaller channels. But reminders to go and visit other of the videos. But the videos that I've chosen aren't probably not the best named. Now you can go in and change your description, let YouTube read that, and so use that area to remarket the title. Because at the moment that you create the video, the title might make perfect sense, but as time goes on, to go back in and maybe change some of those titles up, especially in this case, to change them up to kind of match and mesh with your marketing schema. So, of course, I wanted to get the open mic in there, so that makes sense to remind people, that we do want to start building up the open mic. The Secret Santa makes sense to the time of year. And then the become a patron, that sort of makes sense. But the emojis fall flat, the brackets fall flat on that particular video that I chose. So there's some different things that we can do, I think, for sure. But it is to direct you to subscribe so you'd follow. Some people will go, hit the link below or wherever the link is, or do over there. No, no, no. Just follow the arrow. Follow the arrow, hit the button. Make it really easy for yourself if you find that you want to come back. And especially if you want to be notified, then hit the notification bell. That's your kind of thing. So that makes it really easy that I'm letting the graphic do the work, and also the graphic is telling us the complete story and I should probably kind of do a top to bottom, what is the story? What's the call to action? The call to action is to subscribe and follow the arrow. So even if I didn't have anything else on there, those are that's kind of what I'm asking the viewer to do. The second thing is to spend more time with my content. And so that's to visit the playlist that I might have that might be interesting, or that I just put together a playlist that is the best Audible books that I have on finance. Or it could be, the best of Andreas Antonopoulos, or, sort of kind of the best of. I have a playlist of music for traders, but I never really built it out. And some of the music, that we've listened to over the years during our trading day, some of it's just really fantastic. So that's an idea. But I think that the 2 is good enough. I don't have to put 9 videos on there. I know that some YouTubers, well, YouTubers, that's what we have to become now. Are you doers? The tuber part, they've already tubed. They're tubing people every day, from what I understand. And I don't want them to go any further with it, because it's rubbing off on everyone, and especially for the small YouTuber. And I just don't want that to happen. So let's become you doers, or YouTubers. And just be this thing up, do something about it as best we can, to elevate and understand what our value is. In the early days of Maker Studio, this is what they did. They collaborated, they curated themselves, they got together, and they created, a business. And Maker eventually was sold to Disney. Was that the best thing to happen for everybody? I don't know, but the creator groups and the collaborators and the like Gleam, the media companies that gathered content creators together and helped each other out, I think that idea is an ideal that all of us kind of crave. Doing this by yourself is really difficult. And not everybody wants to be, masterminded at all. But we need direction and help, and we need to be able to guide one another well enough to survive, using the tools that I think that all of us have kind of fallen in love with. If you're on YouTube, you have fallen in love with YouTube. I have not met a person in the last 5 years that says to me, "Oh, what's YouTube?" So clearly, YouTube is this incredible, whether you use it as a sandbox. A lot of the work that I do on YouTube is just a sandbox, just use my laptop. There's nothing really fancy going on except for my curiosity of what works. So that's what we're doing tonight, is giving a shot at this card to see how it looks. So I think that that's really about it. I've been on for 23 minutes. I'm pretty sure the Nightbot works, but I'll give it a try. Just to make sure that we're still reading and going on the Nightbot. Oops, got something there. Rules. There we go. Hey, listen, what are you doing? Are you live now? Are you guys live? Is that who I think it is? I didn't want to interfere, but I didn't get the notification either. Anyway, let me know. Okay, so that is the Nightbot for rules. So see, that part of the Nightbot is working. There's signals. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I didn't get your message. We get notified, right? And then I thought, well, I needed to kind of get this in the can and make sure that I did what I said I was going to do all weekend long to my people. And so, okay, well, I'm glad you guys are getting situated now. So you're pushing it later and later. You're going to keep doing that even with the work week ahead, huh? So, okay, for the replay viewers, check my comments, the copied comments of the chat, of the live chat. And if you see Chris Crypto, right, his name, Chris Crypto, make sure that you look for their content. It's the Coin Scoop. It's called the Coin Scoop. Actually, you know what I'll do? Let me go over to my Twitter and grab your Twitter. I talked about you guys today. Here it is, the Coin Scoop. All right, and follow them and be notified. Well, yeah, I mean, it's of no never mind to me, but what I really this is how I kind of feel bad. I feel badly, is that I don't always catch you right when you're going live, number 1, and that's just because of life. And, number 2, my day is so, kind of chock full that I can't always stay to the end, and I'm really bad, like, I'm that lady that can't say goodbye at the party, and so I kinda sneak out, I kinda say goodbye to, like, a couple of people, and then I sneak out. I don't like to make a big deal, and then I don't want you guys to stop midstream, to go through the whole, thank you and all of that, which I know that you guys are. You are so really just fantastic hosts on YouTube. You really are. And oh, that's nice. Thank you. But I just as another broadcaster, I wanted to let you know that it can be difficult. And but I will do as much, support as I possibly can on my end because I really do think that everything that I say, just so that you know, Chris, everything that I say, like I'm the real deal. And that's kind of hard to imagine. So I launch ships kind of thing. And it's hard to imagine, right, that I actually talked about, us being on the internet, as traders, we're on the internet to use the internet, not to be used by the tool trolls of the internet, right? So on YouTube, in our space, we don't really know who's going to show up. We don't know at what level they're at. We don't know what they're going to say. And then the later that you push your events, when you get into those midnight hour, 2 o'clock, and so forth, you can get a Chewbacca boyfriend. I mean, and it's a good thing that you don't open up your panel. I used to do the panel where there'd be all 10 traders from all over the world that would be in the Hangouts with us. And I should say me, that they would be in the hangout with me, and they would stay with me, and they wouldn't say a thing, like they'd go on for hours and hours. We would take it as far as we could go. We were on 24 hours a day because in the old days you could book your hangouts and it would go dark and then it would just reload up. We used to call it push the big red button, and then you could go on to talk to beauty by just pushing the big red button. So I used to have guys that would sit and listen and learn and stay all night with me and let everybody else leave. And I'd go, well, what's going on, little one? Um, is there anything that I can help you with? And they'd write out, oh, beauty, I don't speak, good English. I'm like, it's okay, I got it. I said, but I'm probably going to wrap things up. I'm going to put my window dark and I'm going to wrap some stuff up. And they go, oh no, just wait. Can you just wait a minute? I'd go, okay, sure enough. They'd put their camera on. Now, please laugh with me, okay? They'd put their camera on and they would be sitting naked on the toilet, boyfriend. They would sit with me for 8, 10, 12 hours to be left alone with me to show me themselves naked sitting on the toilet. So we don't know what we're going to get. We really don't. And that's the whole thing about us being on the internet. So when you can kind of get a crew of people that the migration of caring for each other, and I understand it's just still the internet, but it's really cool to find people that ain't Chewbacca, and you guys are so far on the other spectrum of total greatness, right? Away from the Chewbacca, that I recognize these things, and you deserve all of the best success on YouTube in any way. And I've been speaking very highly to you of Richard, and you just need a couple of people. And I know you've got your own people, and there I have people that have conflicts with one another that I could have them come in, but then they'd be in your chat as conflicting parties. So I have to figure out, okay, well, who can I have come in and when, and but anyway, yeah, I'm really really pleased that Richard likes you guys, and it's fun. It's always fun to have, air quote superstar come in. But just so that we all need each other. I'll just put it that way, okay? We all need each other. I'm sure there's a great Carole King song out there about how much we need each other. But when are you going live, at the midnight hour, or do you guys have it already scheduled? I guess I could look and see. Okay, so your last tweet was that I started a live stream on YouTube. That was 24 hours ago. So and then what do you use? A bit.ly link to get you over to the YouTube? That's smart. I haven't spent much time actually on your Twitter. But anyway, let me know. Okay, good enough then. So I've probably done enough over here for tonight, and then I'll come on over and give you guys some shout outs and do some shares and such. But if I come in and out, don't take anything from it, okay? And thanks for coming by. All right, everybody, for the replay viewers, definitely follow the CoinScoop. These guys, they cover the alts. I got it. They cover the alts and they cover the ICO scene, but they do it from a vantage of picking it apart. And so you get to hear about a lot of projects that maybe you have a cursorial view of it, but you have absolutely no way of following through with your research, asking questions, having someone else that might have some idea on even how to evaluate whether or not, the ICO is good for you. Okay, love. Talk to you later. So that's definitely something that everyone benefits from, because these newer projects, they need a critical eye. And there'll be so many of them that you'll get swept away, and then it'll end up being maybe something that's more peer pressure, and you're making decisions that are more based on peer pressure than, a true understanding and a system that you go through in order to determine whether or not you should invest. So they're very, very cool, and they've got this whole New York vibe, and and I in a way, I sort of kind of feel bad even when I'm over there, because, they're guys and they have a vibe, and, I come in and I know that it sometimes can skew that vibe a little bit. And but they're really great, and you guys should definitely check them out on that. Okay, so this has been enough. We've been on for 32 minutes. I'm going to be trying to do some shares, Care and Lovin over there at the CoinScoop. I want to say thank you very much to the replay viewers. You've been live with Beauty Bubble with Crypto Charts and chatting with me as we get on our subscribe vibe. And definitely just follow the arrow. If you're not subscribed to the channel, that's all you have to do. If you find any value, or you just kind of enjoy hanging out with me as we talk about the trade, which is now at $11,499, so we're just skirting the $500 mark. I did say that I'd come back in at $11,600. If there's any activity in the next hour-ish, then I'll let the guys know over at CoinScoop, and I'll be in their chat if you guys wanted to go on over there. All right, so thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I'll be popping out the chat. The chat becomes part of the archive. And I recommend everyone doing that, actually. It's a great way of keeping your links. Also knowing who came in to visit and talk, so that you can follow up. A lot of channels, you get a lot of people. And so that's kind of a cool way. I take the archive, I make a copy, I take it to G+, which is something I need to add to my end slate here. And then I make it part of the comment section. So it kind of puts it all together in a tidy package. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks a lot, and I will talk to everyone soon.